Hey everybody, it's me, Zach. This is Potato, and welcome back to our channel. Hey everybody, it's me, Zach, and Potato is once again here. I do feel bad that Judy hasn't been in a video in a while. It really is because he's been hanging out here. The thing is that Noel used to work a lot more in his office, and Poe would go hang out with him there, but he hasn't been as much when I've been filming. And so Poe's been hanging out with me instead, and Judy loves to just chill on the couch. I'll even just show you a little photo of her doing that. And so that's what's been up. So thanks for loving and accepting my little po' boy sandwich back there. But we are back today I finally am kind of feeling caught up, I guess, is what I will say, is I'm going to cover the Destiny's live stream, or her most recent live stream, and then also cover Amber Lynn's most recent live stream. And honestly, truly, if Amber Lynn hadn't talked about Destiny's most recent live stream, I probably would have not even gone and watched Destiny's live stream. And that's because everybody I talked to said that Destiny's live stream was really boring and that it wasn't worth my time, like people in my Twitch chat, things like that. And so I was like, I'm not gonna waste my time on that. But then, of course, Amber Lynn ended up talking about it. And because of that, I was like, well, I need to know what Destiny said if I want to be able to give my opinions on what Amber Lynn said. He sat still this whole time until I started filming this video, and then he said, I'm not quite comfortable enough. So let's start with Destiny's live stream because it was the first thing that happened chronologically. She did a live stream on June 6th, which I actually also filmed a video that day and couldn't include anything from the live stream because I'd already had it filmed. So we'll talk about that a little bit too. This live stream was called Live Instagram Q&A, meaning she was taking questions that she asked for on her Instagram and answering them on a YouTube live stream. And I do have to be honest, people weren't entirely lying when they said that most of this video or this live stream was boring. I mean, I think you could probably sum up the majority of this live stream by saying she doesn't know what to say, or she doesn't remember, or she doesn't know how to answer that. Like, she just doesn't. But there were some interesting things, in my opinion, at least at the very beginning of the live stream, that I think we can talk about and discuss. And then obviously I'll probably also include some things that might be relevant to anything that I'm gonna cover that Amber Lynn talks about in her live stream. So the first thing I want to say is that almost immediately in this live stream, somebody asks her about Amber Lynn alleging that she's been recently DMing with Dana.
Amber Lynn saying that I've been talking to Dana. I had a friendly relationship with Dana until, like, what, February? Something like that. If that. I think it was January. And she knew about it. Like, yeah. We only, like, it's not like we were talking in besties every day. Like,
and I actually just want to say I think she's skirting around the issue because the way Destiny presents it is that, oh yeah, like we totally used to be friendly, like in January, February, like Lexus totally knows about that. It's not a big deal. But that's not what Amber Lynn was saying was happening. Like Amber Lynn was saying that the texting, the messaging, etc. is happening like right now as we speak. And so maybe fiance number 3 is aware of that as well, who knows, but I just don't feel like Destiny actually answered the question. And throughout the live stream she gets irritated because people keep asking her about that, and she's like, I addressed it. And in my opinion, I don't think she really did, if we're just being honest and unbiased and fair here. She also talks about the picture that Amber Lynn said that Destiny sent to her.
What was it, yesterday or the day before? I think it was the day she might have shown you. It might have been the day before, I don't know. But it popped up on my timeline. I just thought she should see it since she's been talking all about my mom.
And if you recall, I was like, yeah, that's kind of weird. I don't know what the motivation for that would be. And Destiny said that it was something that she thought Amber Lynn should see since Amber Lynn's been talking about her mom so much. And I don't know, maybe she was saying that because, like, she does later in the stream talk about and affirm that Amberlynn and her mom were somewhat close after the breakup, or like that her mom did care about her, so maybe it was a kind thing. But something about the way that Destiny said, like, oh, she's been talking about my mom so much, just, like, made it seem like maybe it was, like, a little bit of, like, a you just needed to see this if you want to keep talking about my mom. And honestly, I really do agree with Amberlynn that Amberlynn probably wouldn't be here right now talking about Destiny's mom if it wasn't for the fact that, like, Destiny brought it up to begin with. But speaking of, like, all of the texting and stuff, I actually have way too many questions about why Destiny and Amberlynn are texting so much. Because she talks about, Destiny specifically in this live stream, talks multiple times about Amberlynn texting her.
Does Pookie Potato reply to your text? Y'all are crazy making up all these nicknames. She sometimes replies to them. Sometimes she doesn't. I don't know. I guess it's how she's feeling. Let's see. Y'all say hi to Amberlynn because she's watching. Because she texted me.
And obviously, Destiny is also texting her because she sent that photo to Amberlynn. And in fact, in Amberlynn's live stream, Amberlynn texts her during that live stream to make sure that the person in the chat is actually Destiny. And I really am not a fan of speculation and conspiracy theories and things like that, but it is weird to me the amount that these two are texting back and forth when they're, like, allegedly at odds with one another and upset with each other and don't like each other and whoever, whatever. So I'm not saying they're in cahoots, but I'm saying I don't fucking understand it. I don't fucking understand why they're texting so much in these situations and things like that. Now, there's one part where I don't understand, like, I feel like, personally, Destiny contradicts herself a lot, because people in the chat were asking about if she slept with Amberlynn while she was talking to Dana.
Was it true that you slept with Amber while you were dating Dana? No. Literally, me and Amberlynn broke up the weekend that we broke up, and she said I tried to hook up with someone the very next day. I did not.
And it leads to her talking about, like, if she hooked up with other people in general, and Destiny specifically says that she didn't try to hook up with somebody the very next day after she broke up with Amberlynn. But that just was confusing to me, because I was like, I feel like I remember her saying in the breakup video that she did try to hook up with somebody, like, the night of the breakup. And when I went back to Destiny's video, I did in fact find her saying herself that the night she broke up with Amberlynn, she was hanging out with a girl that she wanted to mess around with as a rebound.
Like, after me and Amberlynn broke up, it was literally like that night. It was one of the girls that I ate lunch with that I lied to Amberlynn about. We hung out that night, like I said, that we broke up in Charlotte, and I don't know, like, I was like, oh, maybe I thought about just, like, messing around with this girl, basically. Not anything coming out of it. I just was like, I don't know, kind of like a rebound type thing. I was like, maybe.
And she did also say that there was a girl that she was trying to hook up with so that she could forget about Amberlynn. That wasn't necessarily, like, the next day, so semantics, but, like, there was something going on.
And then I actually started trying to hang out with that other girl a lot and just basically trying to hook up with her. I wasn't sure what was going to happen with that, but it was just, like, also keeping me away from Amberlynn. I was just like, I also just talked to her, kind of like confided in her, just talked about stuff with her, you know, like, we ended up still being friends after all this, by the way. Like, it didn't go, like, sour or anything just when me and Dana started dating.
So I just think it's real sussy that, like, Destiny is now backtracking that a little bit. like, you already said it. I don't know why you wouldn't just stick by that. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me unless you're just, you know, maybe your remembrance isn't very good. But you had that whole notebook where you were taking notes on all these things that happened. So, like, maybe it's time to refer back to that, refer back to your old videos, because you did, in fact, say that. Unless I'm stupid and I'm just misunderstanding what you're saying. And then she also addressed the, like, sleeping with Amberlynn thing and, like, did confirm, like, a week after they broke up, she slept with Amberlynn, but she alleged that she wasn't talking to Dana at the time.
But the following weekend, I can say that we did hook up. Me and Amberlynn did, but this was still before me and Dana had started talking.
Which I do also have questions about, because in the same breakup video, she talks about how Dana started messaging her 2 days later or something like that.
It wasn't the day after me and Amberlynn broke up, but like the second day. So it was the day after I changed all my social media. Dana actually texted me and she just said, hey. And then I just said, hey, back. We hadn't talked since Thanksgiving, like I said. And she just asked if I was okay because she saw my picture changed. And I just explained to her what happened. And that was that. You know, like she had a boyfriend. That was that.
And this one I'm willing to be a little more lenient on, because, like, she did mention, I think maybe at this time Dana had a boyfriend and things like that. So I don't think that they were, like, officially, like, talking. But I also, don't really understand. My understanding is that in a post-Zachary Michael dating world, where I've not been in the dating game for a long time, that people have all kinds of different words for, like, talking, dating, hooking up, whoever, whatever, and I don't necessarily always understand what people mean by those things, so this could be a me thing. But she did mention that, like, a couple days after the breakup, she was already having some kind of conversation with Dana. So I don't know. All of that seems like a little weird to me. It seems like we're either not remembering what we said, we're backtracking a little bit. I'm not calling Destiny a liar. I'm just saying, like, your own words aren't matching up these days or in this particular story. Destiny also clarified that she was talking about Amberlynn smelling while they were together, not necessarily when Amberlynn had cancer, and that she wasn't even really around when those cancer symptoms were happening.
Amber said you meant she smelled after you broke up because of cancer. Clarify. No. Like, I don't know if she stank when she started having her cancer symptoms. I wasn't around her enough. The year of 2018, I lived in Florida when she started all these symptoms. Like, so I didn't mean she stunk after she got cancer. Like, I don't even know if she did. Like, when we hung out after that, I wasn't, like, close enough to her to be like, smell. Like... I just meant, like, when... Are you laughing? I just meant, like, you have swamp ass. After you've worked all day. That's when I knew her, when she was mostly working.
And I'm really just sharing this because I did briefly talk about this in the last video I made about Amberlynn, and some people did comment, hey, Zach, Destiny followed up and said, like, this wasn't cancer symptom related, so I just wanted to provide that update. Again, whether or not Amberlynn smelled or didn't smell is not of a lot of interest to me personally. I don't give a fuck if she smelled. If it were me in Destiny's shoes in that situation and my partner smelled, or I was living with somebody that smelled, I would simply have the conversation with them, which I know is a very hard thing to do, probably especially around the age that they were at the time, because this is the kind of thing that, as a residence hall director back in the day when I worked at the college, and I oversaw dorms that had first-year students in them, I would have to help mediate conversations between first-year students because the roommates smelled. So I would personally just be very comfortable being like, hey, bestie, you smell, I care about you, what are some things we can do about it? But apparently, Destiny would just rather hold on to all that information and come out now and let people know that her roommate was smelly, her girlfriend was smelly, whoever, whatever. And that's her prerogative. She also didn't have to say anything about the smelling. I'm just saying I don't give a fuck if Amberlynn smells because I don't have to smell her. And the only other thing of particular interest to me that we need to talk about from Destiny's live stream is that Destiny brings up the Code Red incident again because they keep going back and forth about this, which I don't think Amberlynn and Destiny are ever going to come to the same page about this. But Destiny brings up that the only witness to the Code Red incident was her mom.
Do you think Amber blacked out during the Code Red incident? Apparently, since she does not remember it, it happened. Like I said, the only person that would be a witness to that is my mom. And if I could call her and ask her, y'all know I would, but I cannot.
And I'll say this, I watched this before I even watched Amber Lynn's live stream, okay? And before I heard Amber Lynn say anything about this, which Amber Lynn does agree with me on this, okay? I said, that doesn't make a lot of sense in Destiny's story because the whole point of the argument, according to Destiny, is that she was on her way to go see her mom and Amber Lynn didn't want her to go. I think what Destiny is trying to say is that, like, her mom would be able to corroborate, like, a story of, like, Destiny letting her know that it happened, or that, like, you know, that Destiny was on her way one day and didn't make it because of the fight, argument, situation type of deal. I don't know that Destiny really meant, like, hey, my mom was there and saw it all happen. I think she's saying that her mom was a witness to it probably in other ways. But I do agree that it didn't make sense, at least the way that Destiny was telling it in that situation, if you understand what I'm trying to say here. And that was pretty much it. I will say, I'm not going to include clips of it or anything, and it might partially be relevant to a later Amber Lynn live stream, but like, Destiny did make a lot of jokes at Amber Lynn's expense throughout this live stream, which seems to be something that Amber Lynn is later upset about. And some of those include like laughing about, you know, the hypothetical situation of Chantal and Amber Lynn getting in a fight and like Chantal being able to beat Amber Lynn up and things like that. So I'm just noting that now before we jump into the Amber Lynn stuff. But overall, Destiny's live stream was pretty boring, and it's clear that at least until she goes into like the 2017 post-breakup era of Amber Lynn and Destiny's relationship, that like she doesn't have a lot more to provide in terms of like tea or information about Amber Lynn Reid. So Amber Lynn did go live the next day on June 7th. The live was titled "Let's Continue the Conversation, .. And Amber Lynn comes into this live stream. She has full-on notes. She's also having a lot of internet issues during this time that she's live streaming, because I guess Wifey is also using the internet or something like that. I don't give a fuck, but like, girly, this is your job, so like, why wouldn't you just live stream while Wifey was not using the internet for her job? I don't know. I don't get it. Like, what else are you doing in your day that you couldn't just schedule it around a time that would be convenient? But here we are. And in regards to the conversation regarding Destiny laughing and making jokes at Amber Lynn's expense, Amber Lynn says Destiny's just doing this for money, and it's so clear that she's doing it for money and not healing because she's making all of these jokes about me.
The first thing is like, I truly feel like Destiny is doing this for money and not to heal, because like a prime example is her like sitting there with her fiance, like literally laughing, like saying that like me and Chantel, it would be like a sumo wrestling match, like, and like literally just laughing about it.
And to that I say, like, at this point, who fucking gives a shit? Like, who gives a shit at this point? Because Amber Lynn, you're also making money, and I'm just like so tired of these conversations, because this particular one is going nowhere. It's really going nowhere. Like, I agree. I do think Destiny likes to laugh and make jokes at Amber Lynn's expense. I do. She has clearly done it. Like, I think that's what is going on. I think it's also simultaneously true that Destiny is sharing some of these things because she's trying to heal and move on from them. And you know, a wise philosopher, poet, writer, Amber Lynn Reid, once said in an Instagram story, multiple things can be true at once. I think it can be true that both of those things can be happening at once, that she could be making jokes. And honestly, making jokes, whether they're at your expense or not, could be her way of healing. You literally talk about all the time in your videos about how you laugh during things that make you uncomfortable, okay, just to be clear. But like, she could also just be making jokes and then also sharing some other things that she's not joking about that are for her to heal. Let's just put it out there. So I'm really tired of that particular conversation, okay? I mean, honestly, truly, at this point with the Amber Lynn versus Destiny situation type of deal, I'm tired of most of it. If we're being honest, like, y'all are going in circles, And nothing's really changing about most people's opinions about what happened. Or at least I can speak for myself that not a lot has changed my opinion about Destiny or Amberlynn, to be honest. Amberlynn also shares that she's upset that Destiny's story when it comes to Amberlynn giving her money and things like that has shifted.
She's saying how I hold money over people's heads, and like she's trying to put like an ill intention around my good intentions, if you will. And it's really fucking annoying because like in her first video, she literally said, which I put in quotes, Amber Lynn likes to pay for people because she's a good person and out of the goodness of her heart. These are things that she has said. So it's like she's literally lying.
Which I did talk about in my last video. Like, Destiny initially was very kind when it came to talking about Amberlynn giving her money. And I had even forgotten, actually, until Amberlynn reminded me that Destiny did say one time that she felt like Amberlynn held money over her head. But in that last video I made, Amberlynn in that live stream went on to give an example about how she held money over Destiny's head. So I don't understand why Amberlynn is mad, because honestly, that's what she was doing. She was like, if you want to spend time with me and I spend this money on you, then like you have to treat me a certain type of way or like do certain types of things for me. You have to be in my vlogs. You have to do this. You have to do that. That is not like a, equal transaction there. Like, Amberlynn has the power in that situation, and so many of you pointed out that like unless Amberlynn was actually like giving the money to Destiny or any of her partners that she's been with, where she said anything I made on YouTube was theirs, unless she's giving it to them for them to make their own decision on what they want to do with that money, it's not really an equal trade there. Because in this situation, they have to come to her if they want to have access to that money. So Amberlynn is just fully silly about the money stuff, and she really should have just left it alone when Destiny was saying the very kind things about Amberlynn that always lined up with what Amberlynn's previous message about spending money on her friends was, which is she just liked to do it because she liked her friends. But instead, Amberlynn has like put a magnifying glass on the whole situation that makes her look not good. And I didn't talk about the North Korea thing a whole lot. I did include the clip as just like here are funny, stupid moments from Amberlynn's live stream. But Amberlynn wanted to take some time during this live stream to clarify her North Korea comments.
Why do you want to go to North Korea? That's actually something that I wrote down. I don't actually want to. I didn't know what was going on over there. And then people started saying, oh my God, Amberlynn will go to North Korea. I was so confused. And I realized that like South Korea, North Korea, they're all different. I'm not a geography girly. I, for the longest time, thought Alaska was a country. Y'all know this. Y'all have seen this, that I do not know world problems that I should know. So I'm very, very sorry.
So when somebody asked her if she wanted to go to North Korea and she said, yeah, I would love to, she didn't actually want to. She's just dumb and didn't know what North Korea was. And this is such a good example, although less serious than some other cases where it's happened, but a good example of why live streaming is not a good look for her, because she just says things and answers questions and things like that with no thought at all and ends up looking stupid. Because why would you say you want to go to North Korea when you don't know shit about North Korea? It's like if somebody came into a live stream and asked if I wanted to visit Zimbabwe. Like, I don't know shit about Zimbabwe, so why would I say, yeah, I would love to go to that country? I don't know anything about it. She just really doesn't know how in the moment to just say, I don't know anything about North Korea, so no, I wouldn't travel there. Like, that would have been such an easy response for her to make, but instead she just had to be like, I would love to go there. And I will say, in this live stream, she does learn from her mistakes, although still makes herself look dumb, but she does learn from her mistake when somebody asks where she would want to visit in Europe.
Do you still see yourself traveling to Europe in your lifetime? Where would you go and why? Europe. What's in Europe? I don't know what is in Europe. I don't want to say the wrong thing because I said the wrong thing about North Korea when I didn't even mean it. I didn't know what was happening there. So Let's not talk about traveling. I'm not good with geography.
Now, why somebody at Amber Lynn's age can't name a single country in Europe, of all places on this earth, I don't know. It's not surprising to me, but it is disappointing. And Amber Lynn does bring up the Code Red incident and makes the same point that I just previously made in this video.
And then the Code Red incident. So when she shared about the Code Red incident, like she was saying how I freaked out because she wanted to go see her mom, right? She wanted to go see her mom, which means her mom was not around, right? So she wanted to go see her mom and I wouldn't let her. But yet in her newest live stream, she said, and I quote, "The only person who was a witness to this was my mom. How could she have been a witness to the Code Red incident if she wasn't even there?" So it's like she's really trying really hard to like use these like big words like witness and everything else. And I love how someone said you're obsessed with Destiny. This would not be happening if Destiny wasn't the one who decided to do this first.
Which, like I said, I don't know that Destiny was trying to say necessarily that she was a witness in terms of like was physically there when it happened. I think it's more like she probably called her mom after the incident happened and told her about it. But also, it's very funny to me that old writer Lynn, poetress Lynn, thinks that words like witness are big words. Now, also, old Amber Lynn, who has me blocked on the Instagram, probably blocked on YouTube, and also, like, has asked people to stop sending her clips of me and things that I've said. She just can't stop bringing me up in these live streams. And she talks about how somebody sent her a tweet on the twitter.com that she doesn't have an account on, and the tweet apparently was me complaining about the live streams being hard work.
Oh yeah, someone sent me, because I'm not a Twitter girly. I hate Twitter. I haven't had a Twitter in years. I literally hate Twitter. I think I tried to do Twitter again and I was like, this place is scary. I don't like it. But people were sending me like screenshots of things that Zach was saying, like how he hates my live streams because he has to actually put in work and like sit and watch them. And I was LOLing so hard. It's just like a perfect example of like, why are you reacting then if it's so much hard work on you to sit and like watch me at 2 times speed? Like, what are you doing?
Now, for what it's worth, okay, I did tweet a lot about live streams, and I was looking through all of them to figure out where I complained about hard work. A number of them were just about like the sheer amount of hours of live streaming between Amberlynn, Destiny, and then Life Plus Cindy, who I've also been covering. And none of them were complaining. I was just saying like, oh, I have a lot of live streams to go through so that I can make content on my channel. The only one where I talked about working hard or working harder or things like that was this one. I'll read it to you, okay? I said, "I'm so far behind on all the content. I do have a video covering both of Amberlynn's live streams uploading, but for whatever reason, it took me all day to film, edit, and upload, so I'll publish it tomorrow morning. I guess I just need to work harder or something." So this was a joke. I know that Amber Lynn can't take a joke or something. I don't know. I don't understand why that's hard to understand. I was making a joke because in one of those live streams I covered, Miss Girl, Miss Thing had literally just talked about how she felt like she worked harder than I do. So I was making a joke. It was a funny joke. Maybe it wasn't funny to her. It was funny to me. I think other people found it funny. Other people could figure out I was joking. But it was a joke, bestie. The only thing I could really imagine that led her to thinking that I was actually upset about the hard work or upset about the live streams was that in that last video, the video I was actually talking about uploading in that tweet, I did say at the very beginning of it that I was like annoyed with live stream era because it's just like not my personal preference in terms of content from Amberlynn. And it is a different type of work. It's a different type of energy for me. I explain it the same way of like watching the 1,000 Pound Sisters because I sit down and like I take notes, and taking notes takes longer, and I usually take timestamps, and I put those timestamps to use because then I pull those clips for my videos and things like that. And so it's definitely a different type of work, and it's not my preferred work. Like, I love just like laughing and giggling while I watch a video for the first time with you all on camera. But I think that that is like chill for most types of content we watch, right? Like, we have preferences on what we like and enjoy, and I wasn't complaining that I had to work harder. If I didn't want to do this, I wouldn't do this shit. Trust me, okay? I enjoy keeping up with Amberlynn Reid, and it's fine. It's really okay. I wouldn't do it if I didn't want to. And in fact, have it. Like, when she dedicated videos to just PO unboxings, I could not sit through that shit. I did not watch those videos or make content about them. And then, of course, people bring up the egg allergy shit again. And I just have to say that these questions, some of these questions, not just about the egg allergy or intolerance, are just like, I don't know, like a little bit repetitive at this point. And so, like, using the egg allergy thing as an example, right? The egg allergy conversation has been going on with Amberlynn for like years at this point. Years. And I'm not exaggerating that. And while I agree it's stupid on her end that regardless of whether or not she calls it an allergy or an intolerance, that she continues to eat eggs, I do have to say she's been so consistent in her response to these questions about the fucking egg allergy and intolerance. Like, every time she brings it up, she talks about it and describes it the exact same way, for the most part. And so I'm just like, I get it. I understand why it's, like, annoying and frustrating. I also understand that, like, people come into the Amberlynn verse at different points, and so some people are just learning about the Amberlynn egg allergy, and that's why they're bringing it up. I'm just like, let's move on. Can we move on? Can we move on? And again, she is texting with Destiny during this live stream.
I'm at work and have this muted, but just here for fun and giggles. Yeah, I don't think it's her. Watch, I could literally text her right now. I'm gonna say, is that you? Oh my god, it is. It is her. Oh my god. So you're literally at work watching me. You're a creep.
And I do think it's weird that she's calling Destiny a creep for texting her and spending her time in Amberlynn Reid's live streams when she was literally just in Destiny's live stream the day before. She also wants to make some clarifications about sitting on Wifey.
But this reminds me of my last live stream where I said that I sit on Feline, and I think people were confused by what I meant by that. I meant like I sit on her lap, like how girlfriends do. I sit on her lap like, you know, girlfriends do, and a lot of people took that as like a feeder thing. Like, ma'am, no, she doesn't like crushing, smothering. Like, it's not like that, y'all. Like, it's not like that. Holy shit.
Y'all, it's on her lap. It's not a weird sexual thing. She's just sitting all cutesy on her girlfriend's lap. It's fine. She also follows up on how she didn't ever think that Destiny would do this, and that, you know, at the end of the day, it's not even that good of tea.
Do you ever think Destiny would do this? Did I ever think that she would do this? No, because we talked about it before, and Destiny's like, I wouldn't do that to you. You know, I'm not that type of person, da 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 da. But it's like all the tea that Destiny has on me isn't even fucking tea. It's like lukewarm water. It's like, bitch, what is this? Like, I don't understand.
Girl, if this is lukewarm water or whatever you're calling it, then why have you done 3 different live streams addressing all of it? Like, if it's not serious or if it's not good tea or this, that, the other, then why have you spent 3 live streams covering it? Not to mention, later on in the stream, she uses Destiny and the Destiny tea as an excuse for why she hasn't been filming.
When will my videos be back? I'm not sure. Someone said you're not filming videos because you're lazy. Like, sis, I've been vlogging for a decade. Laziness is not it. Laziness is not it. Are you not filming because of Destiny? Yeah, I feel like, yeah, partially. It's a lot easier to just like talk about this and like let's just do this now and not have to worry about it. Like because me like vlogging and like showing what I'm eating or like showing you my outfit, like that's like stuff that doesn't matter right now. I just feel like YouTube is just really heavy right now, and there's just things that people want to know and stuff. So I just feel like this is easier.
Y'all, she's not lazy. She's not just live streaming because she's lazy. Like, she works very hard, okay? She's live streaming because she has to respond to the lukewarm water that Destiny is spilling. It just, like, is so silly. It's so silly. I wish she'd listened to herself. She's not bothered. She's not bothered at all by this, like, lukewarm tea. That's why she has just stopped vlogging and live streaming for 3 different times to cover it. And the last thing to note is that she talks about how she's not going to apologize any further about the narc sympathy bone situation type of deal.
I apologized in the way that I felt was right for me based on circumstances. Not everything is black and white, and I firmly believe that. Narc is someone who diagnoses me with narcissism. They have made fun of me in the past, dangling ankle, dangling lung. They judge my mental illnesses and my physical illnesses and my body and who I am as a person all day, every day. That's how they make their income. So not everything is black and white. Like, people are just so blind to that.
And like I said in my last video, I agree. The apology she gave on that community tab post, like, I couldn't really remember the details of it, which is why I went back and read it again and rewatched my reaction to it when it happened. It's not good. It's not great. She's not really doing a good job of, like, taking accountability and apologizing. But I also just have to say, like, I think at this point, it's kind of like the egg allergy thing. Like, nothing's gonna change, you know? Like, that's the apology she's going with. You don't have to like it, and in fact, I think it's fine if you want to tell her you don't like it. But I don't think y'all should expect her to change her ways on that, because this has been her response. So yeah, that's that on that, you know? It's interesting. I'm definitely not a speculation person, a conspiracy theory person. But if I was, I would kind of be like willing to be like, are y'all in cahoots? Because like, why are y'all texting each other? Also at this point, these like dueling live streams, y'all are just going in circles. Nothing new is really coming out from either of you. So I'm just like, let's get some new tea. Like, Destiny, I need you to either come out with this 2017 video and talk about something new, or to just like move on. And Amberlynn, like, if it's lukewarm water and not actual tea, then I need you to stop addressing it, and why don't you just go back to vlogging? Show me your expert Legos, show me your slimes, your putties, your whoever, whatever, and let's get to, okay? Because this is, what are we accomplishing here? Anyways, I'd love to hear your thoughts, so let me know down below. But that's all I have time for today. So I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you're brand new to my channel, consider subscribing down below. Hit the bell button so you get a notification every single time I post a new video. Leave me a comment, hit like, click share, and follow me on all my social media, including merch, where you might see something new. I'm not making a big announcement yet, but you might see some new stuff there. Anyways, that's all I have time for today. I love you all so much, and I'll see you all next time. Bye!